Look alive, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sports fans around the world. We are the Millie Goats. A little late. That's all right. We were shuffling through some audio stuff there. No problem at all. It is July 21st, 2024. Happy National Junk Food Day. I am AK. We got Butch. We got Dex. We got Javi. And we have the GOAT guest, ladies and gentlemen, North Carolina born. Wofford graduate, 3 top 20s in his last 4 events. Panthers fan, Braves fan, Canes fan, the U fan, 4 top 10s, 82nd in the FedEx Cup. February is when things got hot for him. He's been absolutely ripping, ladies and gentlemen. It is Andrew Novak.
Oh,
No.
man. Quite the intro. Thank you.
No. Yes. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here.
Are you rested up from traveling overseas?
Dude,
yes, it took a couple days. My wife got sick while she was over there and then gave it to me. So I was like sick the first couple days back too.
No.
So it was a perfect time to just lay in bed and then not do anything. And, EA college football came out at a great time. So
who's your team on there?
I was going to ask you that.
Oh, I mean, I got Wofford on there.
Oh,
actually, I don't know if I say that. There's a copyright infringement stuff, but I paid my dues there. I think I earned my right to use them.
Fair enough.
We got a little dueling flag battles here with Javi has his App State jersey on. You got the Wofford in the background. For those people who don't know about the SoCon, quite a rivalry between us. So, have you won the Natty yet with said team?
With Wofford, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
No. But I did beat App State though, like 2 games.
Oh yeah,
it happens once every 10 years.
Just bringing back all the years that we beat y'all, like all 2 times.
Y'all did beat us the year we beat Michigan. A lot of people forget that.
Big bad Armani Edwards wasn't enough.
That was y'all's Super Bowl, but we understand.
Yeah. Wofford's a dangerous team when you're like that, though, because back then, but we could kind of beat anybody with the flex bone, like, because we shortened up the game, a couple, like, silly turnovers, and all of a sudden it's like you get 3 possessions and a half, and, yeah.
Well,
a lot of people
forget get behind that.
In that game, a lot of people forget that because y'all had time of possession in that game, obviously, because you ran the wing tee or whatever it was, but our guy Dexter Jackson, who made the cover, Sports Illustrated, had all the touchdowns against Michigan. He had a huge turnover in that game. It was a punt, bounced right off his face mask, and y'all got it, and then went down and scored to take the lead.
There you go.
Always, though, one more Wofford thing for you. I always like to tell this when I meet somebody from Wofford or I'm talking to somebody from Wofford. Our coach, Coach Moore, would always tell us in the locker room before the game, you're about to play these guys that have the horses on their shirt, talking about polo. These guys wear the horses on their shirt. And he always would say this to you, these guys will be your boss one day. So this is your only time to go out there and kick their ass. So sure enough, that's what we took. We took that to heart because we knew that y'all would probably be running the company that we're working for someday. And we went out there and tried to kick your ass.
That's a good one.
I'll tell you this too. They were after they beat us. There was a guy named Eric Breitenstein. You remember him?
Yeah,
he was the fullback. Yeah. We've known him for a long time. He was a monster.
Yeah, he was beast. I saw him break I think it was the SoCon yardage record on my visit or something like that.
Nice. He was from Boone too, so he got out.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah,
I never understood that. Whenever we were
Morganton,
he was from Boone. He went to Watauga.
From Boone.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know a guy from Morganton though.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
I've never been to Boone. I've only been to Morganton because we played y'all's tournament every year, and they hosted Mimosa Hills, which is down in Morganton. So I've probably been. I mean, we played their tournament like 3 or 4 years, but I've never actually been to like y'all's campus.
How's that golf team?
They were not very good, but we weren't great. I mean, we were comparable. I'd say we'd probably beat y'all a little more than y'all beat us, but we were only in the conference. I guess y'all left after my freshman year, so we were only in the same conference 1 year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they were after they beat us in 2017. I've never heard so many. This ain't Michigan. This ain't Ann Arbor. I mean, they were giving it to us on the way back up the ramp after the game, and I was just kind of laughing. I'm like, We deserve that, and that's the exact thing you should say every time we came.
Yep.
Every player that walked by, just give
That's
it
what
to us.
football's about.
That's right.
I believe our fans are saying that at Michigan in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Okay. So, social media, Andrew Novak Golf at Andrew Novak Golf. Also, podcast.
Yeah,
Like,
screenplay podcast. Got it on the hat. Former teammate and I do this little NFL podcast. We're on a little bit of a break right now, but we'll be getting started up soon with the 2024 season stuff. Probably start with some fantasy, and we'll go from there. So if y'all want to follow along and listen to some good NFL stuff, and my co-host will probably hate on the Cowboys a bunch. So
Yes.
yes,
As he should.
yes. Tex is a Cowboys fan.
I don't know why everybody hates America's team, but it makes him feel good to do it.
He's a Patriots fan, so
Even worse.
He is not any better, I promise you.
Did he start pulling for the Patriots in 2000?
No, he's from up there.
Okay.
He's all Boston, everything. It's a whole thing. But yeah.
Has he been to more parades than that one kid
What?
that holds the sign? He has a poster. He's like, I'm 12 years old and I've been to 15 parades.
Oh. He's definitely been to a few of them, I think. But he's just always been a big Boston guy. He's from up there. I mean, they get it. They actually get to win stuff. I'm stuck here being like a Panthers fan.
Gosh, yeah, you've got quite the interesting. So you got Panthers, the Hurricanes, obviously, and then the Miami Hurricanes and the Braves. Do you put the Panthers at number one, or do you put the Hurricanes, or I mean, how do you?
It's tough. It's tough. Probably Braves on the back burner a little bit. I mean, I do love baseball, and I love going to Braves games, especially at their new ballpark. It's awesome. But I'm not like sitting watching every game of the regular season.
I've just got to know why the Miami Hurricanes, because you're a little bit older than when they were actually really, really good.
That's a fair question. I'm not, though, because I got into football, loved it from a young age, and when I was 5 or 6 years old, they were nasty.
Okay.
That was 2000, 2001.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I had no –
Ken Dorsey.
parents had no like I had no team to really root for. I guess my mom went to grad school at like Duke, but I wasn't going to be like a Duke fan. No, not doing
football.
That. No. So they were really good. So I guess you can say I hopped on the bandwagon, but the last 20 years, I think I earned my spot rooting for them. So
did you want to be a part of the 7th floor crew?
That would have been sick. I haven't met Greg yet, but one day Greg Olson and I are going to be golfing buddies. Don't know when.
Yes.
It'll happen.
Yes.
He's a good dude. I've been fortunate enough to meet him a few times, and he's a good dude. He lives up here in Charlotte.
Yeah, because and that's another. He was at Miami. He was very good, but then he went to Carolina as well and did some great things. There's been only a few guys that have done stuff like that. Him, Dan Morgan, and of course now he's GM. So love Dan, and then John Beeson did it for a bit before he went on. I think he was with the Giants for a bit and stuff, but. Yeah, not a ton of Miami guys ended up in Carolina, so it's always kind of special when that happens.
Yeah. So this season's been pretty good. I was looking back and I'm like, February things got hot. The waste management is when you went on a pretty good run there, and then recently too. I mean, things are clicking. I mean, so give the people a little bit of peek inside and be like, what changed? I mean, the waste management, obviously, an electric tournament. So what's been going on?
Yeah, early in the season, my first few events I really struggled, but that had a lot to do with just my practice schedule and basically where I was mentally. Coming out of the fall, I did not want to do I didn't want to see a golf club. I didn't want to do anything. I played so bad last fall, I almost lost my card, and it came down it came down to the very end. Some crazy stuff, but I managed to keep it. But I was so done with golf. But it was like December already. It was the end of November, and then the season was starting back up in January, and I wasn't ready to get back and grind and get my game where it needed to be by the time the season started. I rolled into Sony not prepared, I mean, I would have been miserable if I had tried grinding before it and stuff like that. So I think it was still it was good that I took the break, and it just kind of, it is what it is. Like that I just wasn't clicking on all cylinders when the season started. And I did a few things, I guess, okay at Sony, but it was pretty much just all bad. I drove it like horrendous. And then I rolled into Amex like putting contest, and got to make a million birdies. And I still didn't really know where I was driving it, and I wasn't making any putts. And so I was like struggling there. And then I got to Torrey, and by then I'd kind of like, okay, I had a couple weeks under my belt. I worked with my coach, and things started kind of coming together a little bit more. And I was starting to like, okay, season's getting started. Like, I'm cool with this. And Friday of Torrey, I played the South course, and actually put together some like good swings and did some good things. And I missed a cut, but it was like I gave it like a really good run at it. And that was kind of like the point where I was like, all right, I'm kind of back feeling some things. And I had a week off before Waste Management after that, and then like put some good work in at home. And then obviously it was my first time playing Waste Management, and I wanted to really I wanted to play well in front of the crowds. Like I wanted the full experience. And so it was definitely a goal of mine. And it just, everything kind of came together, and I was just swinging really, really well kind of then, and that rolled into a really nice 3-week stretch.
Fantastic. And when you're hitting the golf ball like that, it's kind of like, it's got to feel really good, because I've hit like 1 or 2 good shots in my life, and I'm like, man, if you do that a lot of times in a row, that has to feel really good.
Yeah. It's so those, like, that stretch of weeks, it was a lot of, it was so ball striking focused, because Waste Management, those greens are pretty firm. Like, you had to hit some pretty good shots. It was kind of some like sketchy weather. We had really cold weather. There was a ton of like delays and stuff with rain. So I was playing like a little long, and then that Mexico course is really long too. So a ton of long irons there. And then Honda, you have to hit it straight just because there's trouble and crap everywhere. So I kind of lucked out. I picked the perfect time to really be on with my long game, and was able to kind of cycle that into 3 really good finishes.
Fantastic. Now the playoffs are coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
The offs are coming up. And is it top 70?
Top 70. So outside looking right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Currently 82nd. Is that correct?
80. Yeah, I think the update, I just got the text. I think I'm 84th now with Open and Barracuda factored in.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So,
and how many more till playoffs?
2. 3M and Wyndham. So the one in Minnesota, and then the one in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think we're trying to go to that one.
We might be boots on the ground.
Perfect. I'm gonna have a lot of people there.
Nice.
4 caddy. You have a lot of 4 caddies.
You see the guys with all the O signs for the birdies? That's us.
Good. Yeah. Might need to recruit more than just y'all 4, though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Well, there's 8. We got 8. There's 2.
Coming.
We each have 2 arms.
We can paint our chests. That's 3 O's right there.
That's 12.
Perfect. That'll get y'all kicked out immediately, but perfect.
Who are those guys with? Never seen them.
Wait, what?
I did not see that at Waste Management, which I'm kind of surprised by. That, like, you would think that'd be like the one place you saw something like that, but I guess nobody went for the painted chest quite yet.
Get it going next year. Just credit
Actually,
us.
maybe there were. No, I don't think there were. I'm 16. I can't remember. I don't think there were.
They were too busy drinking beer.
No, there was plenty of that. Doing snow angels in the bunker. They were doing that.
I remember seeing that video.
Okay, so we're going to do a couple of icebreaker questions, all of us being from the Carolinas here. I think we all have our I'm just going to do some rapid fire here and see where this leads us. First one is, if you're from the Carolinas, we have the beauty and the privilege of having the beach on one side of our state and the mountains on the other. So the question is, mountains or beach?
Mountains. I like the mountains. I live at the beach, but I'm a mountains guy.
I would agree with that. I love the mountains. Don't get me wrong. I live close to the beach now too. But the mountains, living there when it's like winter for like 8 months out of the year is pretty tough. But to visit there, tough to beat.
I like the golf in the mountains better too in the Carolinas. So
ball goes further?
A little bit. I mean, the altitude in the Carolina mountains isn't super high, but yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Luke Combs or Eric Church?
I don't really listen to country music. I'd probably go Luke Combs, but I don't. I'm not a country music guy.
All right. Petey Pablo or DaBaby?
The baby.
It's not country, it's rap, right?
Right.
That's fine.
Cheerwine or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
That's where I live. I live down where Pepsi's from. That's a big thing down here.
There you go.
What's your favorite lighthouse?
Lighthouse?
Yep. Outer Banks.
Light.
Any of them? I don't know. Probably Sullivan's Island Lighthouse. I don't even know if that's the name of it. That's the one that's near where I grew up. So Sullivan's Island Lighthouse.
Cape Lookout's a really nice lighthouse. It's got the diamonds on there. Always made a really good.
Like once, maybe twice when I was a kid. Maybe.
AK probably only knows one lighthouse too, so he's just trying to broaden his horizon.
Sullivan's Island.
You should have said Harbor Town because I'm going to win there next year.
They got a good barbecue place right down the street from it. So if you do go to that one, go pop over to Home Team. That'll get you.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Best pulled pork.
Best pulled pork. Oh well, Southern Soul here on the island. Davis Love owns it. It's really good.
Okay, Cookout or Bojangles?
I mean, I guess it a little bit depends on what I want, but probably Bojangles. But that is a tough one.
Hey, that dirty rice.
Hey.
Depends on the time of your life. If he was in college, it would have been Cookout, I bet.
I feel like it was both in college.
Yeah.
It was Cookout Saturday night.
It was Cookout. It was
Saturday night Cookout, Sunday morning Bojangles.
It was Cookout at 2 a.m. and then we wake up at like 10 a.m. It was Bojangles.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a Cajun egg and cheese, baby. Whew.
Yeah.
It's like that's all your electrolytes right there. The three main food groups. So I've been spitballing some hashtags, right? So I think the one we're going to go with, and we're going to run this by you, is the Novak with all the circles, depending on how many birdies you make. I think that's the one we want to go with.
I do like it. It's unique. I haven't really heard anybody talking about it. I think it makes a ton of sense. I think it's cool.
Okay. So whether or not we paint our chest,
Eagle would be like a capital O. That would be, kind of.
Oh, I like that.
I like that. Or the red O. Could we do the red O? Throw a couple of red O's in there on like the emoji thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
okay.
That could work.
You
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you.
Does the wife run the Andrew Novak tracker? Twitter.
I don't know who runs the Andrew Novak tracker.
Have to find
the guy started it and then he did it for one tournament and then he DM'd me a couple times about when I was going to play in golf tournaments. And then one time I was near the lead on Sunday and he did it for 3 holes and then I made a bogey. And so he stopped doing it. He's kind of a little flaky.
Got to be all in.
He's not a real fan.
No.
So I don't know. I don't think I have a tracker right now, unfortunately.
Well, that's
got to win more, maybe. We'll see.
Do we need to reach out? Do we need to track the tracker? Should we start another account that says the Novak tracker, just so we don't miss anything?
We found Hubbard's tracker.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We found Mark Hubbard's tracker. We had him on the show.
Mark's great. Mark probably tracks for himself. He's probably on the 4th tee.
That is believable. He's been on the show a couple times, and that is very believable.
No cat.
Mark's great.
So the next question, coming from Wofford, how did that process go? Going from Wofford and then getting to the pros. Let's hear a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, I had a bit of a process, but it definitely wasn't as crazy as some. My senior year, when I was at Wofford, I went and did the qualifying school for the tour up in Canada, Mackenzie Tour. Got status, so I went up there that summer and played, I think it was 12 events or maybe 11 events, whatever the regular season was. I didn't play well, but that was like my first introduction to professional golf. And then that fall I went to Q school, got through first stage, second stage, and then at final stage I missed by a few shots, I think, maybe three or four. And so I had like conditional status, but it was not good. Like I wasn't getting any starts. So I was just doing Mondays for Korn Ferry, and Mondayed in like 3 times in like a 4-event stretch or something like that in the spring, and made a couple cuts. So I was able to shuffle up whenever the reshuffle was. So I played like probably, I don't know, 12 to 15 events, probably about half the year that season. Didn't play well at all, but it was a good learning experience. So I had to go back to first stage for Q school the next year, first stage, second stage. And then at final stage, I missed by a shot. But the first event in the Bahamas is like dumb expensive. It's where like Firefest, the documentary, it's literally like right of the 17th hole was like, that's the area that they were going to host it, which going to that island, that is insane that they thought they were going to do that, but that's beside the point. Anyway, so that's where that is. So it's like dumb expensive down there. So nobody went. So I like got in lucky, like on like Tuesday, like I got in on my number and went down there, played really well, finished like top 25. So I got exempted the next week, made the cut again. And then I got the next tournament because it was like, there was 2 courses. So it was a bigger field. I finished like top 10. So I got the next week. So I basically ended up just getting in and reshuffling in. So I played that entire season, finished like in the top 75 or whatever. So I kept my card for the next year. And then that next year is when I won a tournament. Then COVID hit, so it turned into a 2-year season. But that 2-year season is the one I got my PGA Tour card on.
Nice.
By finishing top 25.
What a journey.
You forced yourself in.
A lot of traveling. Hey, that's what happens when you win.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you for Wofford, do you have a group? Do you still have the group chat going? Because I mean, all of us have a group chat. We went to apps, so is the group chat still popping off? Is that the Fantasy Football League?
It was. Well, I played fantasy with them for a little bit, but not anymore.
Okay.
But there was big drama today. I guess the Columbia City Am was today, and one of my boys was leading, and then another one of the Wofford guys ended up shooting like 65 on him today and clipped him. So it was a big drama in the chat today because it might have been a playoff. I'm not sure. It came down to the wire, though, and one of them clipped the other. So
wow.
65 must have been the number today.
There was some chirping in there. But
the good news is that'll probably never live that down. They'll probably never be brought up again.
So
it's always good when there's chirping and you're not involved.
They can't chirp me. Come on.
It's unchirpable.
Nah.
Chirp Nowitzki.
No, they chirp me all the time. But whatever.
Before the next segment, we do have a question from the audience. Bear with a Machine Gun wants to know, what's your favorite course? I think it's going to pop up here.
In general, in the world?
Yeah.
It's so tough. I actually get this question a lot. It's really tough to answer. I definitely have like a clear top 3 that I've played, and that would be Augusta National, Pebble Beach, and Marion. That would be my top 3. It is tough to choose out of that top 3 though.
Okay.
Do you wish the other majors played Augusta at the same course every year?
Yeah, man.
What's up?
Do you wish the other majors played at the same course like Augusta, like the Masters? Or do you like the fact that they change up?
No, I like that they rotate because it gives those other majors character. So like the Masters being at Augusta is perfect. Like the character, everything there is perfect. The US Open, I love that it's a good tough test, and I think part of what makes it a good tough test is it bounces around. You're not comfortable on the course that you're playing. You might have played it before, but it's not like an annual thing. So I think that fits what they want to do. The Open Championship, I love that it bounces around. You get a ton of different looks at places like, obviously we don't have anything like that here in the U.S., but even within their links golf, there's a ton of different styles. So I love what they're doing there. And then the PGA Championship, it's kind of the wild card. I feel like they can do a lot of different things with that one because, like, I mean, they had Oak Hill 2 years ago, but then they also have like a Whistling Straits. Like it's a much broader spectrum, and I think that really keeps it fresh as well. So I actually do think
it's a birdie fest.
And sometimes it will be like Valhalla is a birdie fest, but it was still a good PGA Championship. It was very exciting.
The final or the last hole was amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
I mean, I know people complain that it was easy, but it was still like it was great entertainment. It was, I mean, Xander's arguably, I mean, it's him and Scotty are the best two players in the world right now. Like a legitimate champion won. Bryson was playing insane golf too. Like it's not like it didn't like prove who the best players were that week. Like I definitely feel like it was fair for that. So
yeah, you still have to go out there and do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
in the America, there was the first time since 1982 that every major was won by a U.S. player.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's
something like
that.
It was
Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Take that, Rory.
I just want to say too, the last time that happened, the 49ers won the Super Bowl. So just go ahead and put that in your little tickler files, boys.
We could win the Olympics this year and take the clean sweep, though.
Ooh.
Oh, has that ever been done?
Last time that happened, the Bills won the Super Bowl.
Olympics have been
there are 5 rings on the Olympics.
Ooh. I'm just, so to give you a little background here, I'm a 49ers fan. This is going to kill you because we're all from North Carolina. We're about to get into this.
Okay. You're welcome.
J-Vi is a Bills fan. And it's, you're right, what, for CMC?
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome.
And then the two on the bottom are Cowboys fans. So all of us being from North Carolina, none of us are Panthers fans, but one of our best friends is a Panthers fan.
I mean, I respect the Bills. Bills are respectable.
Right. America's team.
Jim Kelly, we're cool with that. So
red, white, and blue.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we like them too.
Look, none of us are Panthers fans because when we were growing up, the Panthers didn't exist. So we had to choose our teams before the Panthers were even there.
Yeah.
Here's my Panthers Coke bottle.
The Panthers have not done a good enough job of flipping other fans locally. If they would win more, and if they would make the game day experience like a little bit more exciting, there's just not enough identity to the stadium, to what's going on. Like it's too nice to other teams coming in. Like other teams will frequently have more fans than Carolina.
Yeah.
It's like not a hostile environment at all. Like we are somewhat it's sort of SEC country. Like you can't go to like Williams-Brice and wear like a different jersey and be okay. Like fans are going to be giving you crap. Like clearly fans can be crazy and like get into it in the area, and they just don't really do it for Carolina Panthers football. So they need to win more games and win over some more of the fans. I think that would
and what's crazy is this might be the only nice thing I say about the Panthers. They should, because out of two of our 3 teams, the Panthers have made the Super Bowl more times in the 2000s than our teams have. So they, people should be on board with them, but it's the other years where they're last in the NFL.
My first playoff game I went to was Panthers Cowboys back in like 2004, I think, when we got through.
I don't get it either, because the one time they were really good, like almost 10 years ago, when they were like 15-0 or 16-0 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the city was just buzzing. And then after that, it just went right back to where they were. Like, I don't get it.
It's fair weather. It's fair weather. It's just, that's how it is.
Well, and Charlotte's a transport city too. So it's like nobody's from Charlotte. Everybody here is from somewhere else. So that's why.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like when they are good, people will like show up and do that because they can. It's a thing to do. But
they always have their secondary team.
Yeah. When you've been bad for a long time, nobody's going to really support it.
The Canes, it's a different story. those people are nuts, man.
Yeah.
Those fans are insane.
And I think that's why some people are saying that they want, I guess people wanted to move Carolina from Charlotte to Raleigh area, I guess, because the fans are way more rabid in Raleigh, Durham. But the Canes have been good for a little while now, and so the fans go nuts. But 10 years ago, the attendance was not so great for Carolina Hurricanes hockey. They were bad for a good 6-8 year stretch before they kind of got everything squared away and started playing really well.
And
they got Rod the Bod, baby.
Yep, they got him, and he's locked him in for a while now. So it should be good for a while.
Yeah, I'm glad I was kind of worried they were going to let him walk, but I'm glad they kind of re-signed him. It's fun watching our style of hockey. So.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Ask KK about that.
You want to make you want us to hurt your ears again? I'm a Rangers fan. Jay Vi's a Buffalo Sabres fan. Butch is a Sabres fan. Tex is a Penguins fan. It's all
Who travels more
blasphemy, isn't
distance
it?
for their team? Andrew Novak or Millie?
At least the Sabres suck. So
hey,
they always suck. They haven't been good since 2005.
Look, they're trying to beat the Bills streak of longest time without making the playoffs. The Bills were 21 years.
Yeah, I got my caddy's from Erie, and he doesn't have a hockey team, and he still refuses to pull for Buffalo. So,
jeez,
wow.
He's like, I think I might just be a Rangers fan. I'm like,
no,
yes,
okay,
yes,
can't do that.
Yes,
I think he's officially committed. Well, he's probably a bit of a Lightning fan now. He's got family playing for Lightning, but that's beside the point.
Let's go. Okay, now. We've broken the ice. Now we're going to get into some super serious questions where we're all going to be shooting 7 different kinds of smoke. And then at the end here, we're going to put up a little graphic of our 2024 Panthers hot takes, and we're going to let you educate us, if you will, on why we should change some of these takes if we need to. So we're going to hit a little segment break here, and J-Bi will play that. Shh, everybody, shh. Full disclosure, I thought you were going to play Salute Your Sports, but okay, we love the ice cream. Okay, super realsies for realsies golf questions, and some for the boys if we have any. I'm going to go first. Help my dumb brain understand on links courses. I was watching today, and I'm wondering why there was not a lot of driver play on the course. So I'm sitting here thinking pretty wide fairways, pretty gettable greens, but people are hitting irons. What is that all about?
Yeah, I was kind of with you on some of it. There was some, especially on, I guess it was yesterday on one, everybody was laying back. It was downwind. I think Mackenzie Hughes was the one guy I saw pull driver and drive it up by the green. And I thought that was kind of nice. But generally, the reason you're going to see a lot more conservative play off the tees is the bunkers. The bunkers are so much more penalizing. If you drive it in a bunker, I mean, you're just chipping out. So a lot of the time, you have to lay up short of the bunkers or at least try and take them out because, I mean, it's a true full shot penalty almost going into them.
And you really don't know the rollout too, right? It isn't a pretty big rollout.
Yeah. So yes.
So you really can't gauge that.
Yeah, there is definitely some of that. I think on the third hole there's a creek that crossed in front, and it's if you land at 20, 25 short, it could still take a firm hop and reach. So then you're definitely having to still play a bit more conservative, because the fairways aren't flat perfectly. They're very lumpy. So it could just land on a random downslope and give you an extra kick. So you got to be kind of careful with stuff like that.
Okay. That's my first question. Tex, do you want to go next?
Yeah. So why does nobody use the 1-iron anymore?
Guys have driving irons that are probably close, to what the loft of an old 1-iron would be. But for the most part, 5 woods and 7 woods are just more practical. Hitting into par 5s and being able to land it soft on firm greens is much more valuable than what maybe a 1-iron can offer. It might be a little easier to hit a 1-iron off the tee, but technology for 5 woods has come a long way, and they can still keep the spin down a little bit. I guess it's not so much with 5 woods; it's more the shafts that they put in them. They can still keep the spin down a bit off the tee, and but you still get that extra height. So I think just technology has kind of replaced the need for that kind of club.
Okay, J-Vi.
Yeah, I got one for you. So, when I'm doing this fantasy stuff, I like to see who you're paired with and try to like get in your mindset of like, oh, he's paired with Scotty Scheffler. Like he might try to chase him, which might hurt his game if he's not, a chaser. My question being though, when you're paired with an amateur at an event, do you look at it as like, dang, they don't respect my game, they're putting me with an amateur? Or is it like they must think I'm a good mentor and I can talk to this guy and tell him some good tips along the way?
Are you talking like a pro-am, like a Wednesday, or are you talking like how Nick Dunlap was in the tournament, like as an am earlier?
Yeah, like the Nick Dunlap
like
playing with you. I mean, I know those guys are good golfers and should be playing, but he's still an amateur,
Yeah. No, I mean, right now, the category I'm in, I wouldn't get paired with an amateur the first 2 rounds because amateurs that get in would be sponsor exemptions, so they'd be paired up with different people the first 2 rounds. But I guess like my rookie year, that could have happened, but
I didn't know there were
just
categories.
look at it like I'm a rookie. Yeah. Like I'm gonna, this is who you get paired with when you're rookies.
I've always wondered that. How do they do the pairings? And
it is random. It is random, but it's like you're in pots. So like I could be with anybody, but it's anybody that's within the same category pot as me for the tee times. Just that's for the first 2 days. Then weekends off the leaderboard standing. But
right.
How are the pots? I think
there's like 3 different categories. There's 3 different categories. So however many guys, it's not an even amount in each because like it depends on the event, but it's not an even amount. It's like the top category is like tournament winners and like the top guys, and they slot into the middle of the wave. So that's like your featured groups. And then I'm typically early in the wave, and I'm in like the fully exempt members. So like top 125 from the previous year. And then the end of the wave is like your Korn Ferry graduates, like your rookies. And then Monday qualifiers, sponsor exemptions, stuff like that.
That's interesting.
Bush, did you have a question?
Well,
you just asked your question.
No, but coming up, you got the Twin City 3 what is it, 3M?
3M, yeah.
3M. What's your game plan?
It's it's tough off the tee. You got to drive it well. There's a lot of water. Rough's pretty nasty, so I think Lee Hodges won running away last year.
24 under.
Yeah, Matt Wolf is one there. Tony Finau's one there. I think Lee drove it really well there last year. I think he was hitting it really well. So you pretty much have to drive it well and ball strike it, and then it's just once you're in position, then it just kind of comes down to whoever's making the putts that week. Greens are really good there, so it is easy to kind of get hot with the putter and make a bunch of putts.
Mm-hmm. So hitting fairways.
Yeah, like you pretty much have to play that course from the fairway because the rough is nasty and there is like crap everywhere.
Is it rather straight or is it a bunch of dog legs, or you just got to dodge water?
It's a bit of a mix. It is definitely a bit of a mix. There's a few tee shots that definitely turn, a couple tougher tee shots, and a lot of water.
Yeah.
What is 3M makes what, printers?
They make a bunch of things. They do like Post-it notes.
Oh, okay.
They made like all kinds of office supplies.
Yeah, 3M's technology is specifically foam and adhesives and things that the adhesives stick to.
There you go.
Yeah. They have other categories where they have some plastics and things like that, but a lot of what their business to business stuff is foam and the adhesive specifically that they do.
So would they?
use a lot
X
of
is our business
fall
guy.
in-
If you haven't been able to
Yeah.
tell,
You haven't
Yeah.
said anything for like
Would they
30
fall
minutes.
in the tournament winner category?
Encyclopedia. Know what exactly what 3M is. Oh man.
He's like, no, guys. These are
I've got a question. I got a
adhesives
question.
I mean,
and
I can
foam.
see myself in his sunglasses, like on his screen,
So-
and he hasn't said anything the whole time. And he's coming in knowing exactly what 3M is.
So
Goodness me.
Kirk, hey, so years ago they had an article out talking about the best balls you can buy,
Mhm.
and it came out that it was the Kirkland balls from Costco.
Okay.
Okay, so if you were ever in a pinch and you needed to find a ball close, would you ever go to Kirkland and use or Costco and use their balls?
In a tournament?
Oh yeah, the tournament. The best. They were rated the best balls. They were rated the best
I
balls
think
you
I could
can
probably
buy.
find some. I think I could probably find some Strixons and make it through the week.
That
But
has been the consensus answer.
bang for
In
your
a
buck.
tournament?
Bang for your buck. The Kirkland balls could work, although that was pre getting sued. So I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know if they got the same thing going on anymore. You might have missed your window for that deal.
I guess
Good thing I loaded up. They sold them in
Right.
bunches.
3M.
They were the hardest ball to find there for a while.
does 3M make a
the
ball?
3M thing. I still think that's what I'm saying.
3M. I think 3M might supply some of the cores.
Okay. Question number 2
Foam
for
core.
me. Does being a football guy allow you to play better in football weather? Do you tell yourself that before? And have you ever thought about playing in football cleats?
I don't know about that.
Is that allowed?
Definitely made me play worse last football season. No, okay. I don't know why I played bad in the fall. I would say generally, I like to think. Well, I don't like to think it, but I do think I'm a little bit more of a fair weather golfer. I do play well at times in bad weather. I just don't like it. I played well in Canada this year, and the weather was pretty crap. But generally, I would much prefer to just play in some nice weather and beat people that way because it's just a lot more enjoyable to play golf when it's nice weather.
So you think that golf should be played in a dome? No weather.
I don't know if every week it should be, but I definitely enjoy playing golf in a dome because it is pleasant.
Isn't that what Rory and Tiger's new thing is? Dome golf?
Oh, well, that's just like simulator golf.
Virtual dome golf?
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess. I have no
I don't know.
idea.
I don't know when that one's ever getting going, if it gets going. Got pushed back a year or something. I don't know.
All right, here's number 2 for me. So during the practice round, I work in TV production. I'm very fortunate enough to work a few golf tournaments a year. And during the practice rounds, I see a lot of guys, they'll stick one close on their practice round, but they don't finish the putt. They don't tap it in. Is that something you do? Why don't you finish? To me, you got to see the hole through. They might just pull it away. It's like
I will
gimme.
sometimes do it. I'll sometimes do it to rep reading a putt, like looking at the greens, something like that. Or sometimes if I have like a lot of guys will play like a little birdie game, so they'll finish out putts that way. But outside of that, like the pin's not going to be in the middle of the green like it is in a practice round.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pins, they tuck them. They're going to be in the corners, and I mean guys will hit shots to the pins in the middle of the green because a lot of times that's where you're aiming. You're just hitting to the middle of the green, and then you will putt from the middle of the green to the corners to where the pins are.
Fair.
Okay. Which B? You got another one?
All right. So would you pick Braves or Bananas?
Mm.
Baseball.
Yeah. Probably Braves. I mean, I don't know. Bananas is
not a
fun
big
and
fan
cool
of-
what they do, but I'd rather go to like a real game. That's me.
Have you ever seen the game where they put there was some team, I can't remember where it was. They put black lights in the stadium lights, and they
Yeah.
played like whatever it's called, electric baseball or something, and it was
Mhm.
absolute insanity. So
Hopefully nobody did some premature stuff beforehand because the black lights would have shown up.
yeah, that would be an awkward situation in the stands.
Was Willie around? Is the thing.
My final golf super realsies question is: you shot a bogey-free 64 2 weeks ago without a 7-iron. I want to hear that story.
Yeah, I was on the range, like I was warming up. It was at the end of my warm up, pretty much. It was kind of like towards the end of my warm up, and I don't know what reason I decided to kind of just like look down at my 7-iron, and it kind of looked funny. And I took it, and I like held it up, and it, like the shaft was like bent near the bottom, and so I didn't really know what to do. I knew like because they had like changed the rule like a year ago or 2 years ago, so I didn't really know. So I was trying to figure out like how to call a rules official. Like usually you tell the score with your group, but like how do you call a rules official if you're not even started yet? So I was like
Right.
still going through my warm up, trying to figure that one out, and we were able to like get somebody. My caddy went to like one of the tee boxes, was able to get a volunteer to call and like meet me on the putting green like 10 minutes before I was about to tee off. And he took a look at it, and it was subtle, but like it was definitely bent. And so he was saying like, I guess like I could try and just bend it back before I start. So we were trying to bend it back. It like was not. It was like very like stuck in how it was. And so he was like talking to some rules officials, and I guess like you can't start a round with a non-conforming club, and if it's bent, it's non-conforming. So he was going to take it, see if if they could straighten it, and two, if the rules officials thought it was bent enough to be non-conforming. Like he wanted to take it to the committee. So you can start. I started the round with 13 clubs. You can start with less than 14, and then they can bring one out to you during the round. So that's what they were going to do. Basically, if they were able to fix it, they would bring me the 7-iron back. If not, I had a 3-iron in my locker as just like a 14th club that I could bring out. And so he when we were on one green, he came out and he had the 3-iron. He was like, "Yeah, we can't do anything about it. It's basically it's bent, it's not conforming, so you can't use it." And so yeah, I played out the round with no 7-iron, and luckily didn't need to use it, and played some really good golf.
Is that your top club? Obviously not.
I hit some good 7-irons, but we played like my caddy and I played around it. There was a couple times where hitting a certain club off a tee could have put me sort of near it. And so I just played the hole a little bit differently to basically avoid putting myself in that situation. And it worked well. And luckily, no par 3s were like 7-irons that day, because that would have been kind of rough. But,
literally.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Can't hit a 7-iron. I can hit an 8-iron, but I don't play. I have 2 kids. I don't play golf anymore much, but I would like to play golf. But
twice a year.
Okay. Yeah, well, once a year. Free for all segment. This is 7 different kinds of smoke. We're going to be coming all different directions here. Okay. I want you to power rank these North Carolina staples: Cheerwine, Pepsi, Krispy Kreme, Bojangles. Power rank them.
Bojangles, Krispy Kreme, Pepsi, Cheerwine.
You're not a big Cheerwine guy, huh?
That's a tough crew to beat. It just, I'm not like huge on the sodas either, so it's yeah, I can throw
Wild cherry Pepsi is a lot better than Cheerwine anyway.
Let's
I've not had it.
let's
so.
All right. J-Val, you got a question?
I do have one. If you had, so I don't know if you saw last night, the WNBA All-Star team beat the U.S. Women's National Basketball team, women's, whatever. So we know who the guys that are representing the United States in golf are.
Mhm.
Do you think you could put an all-star golf team that could beat them?
Ooh.
And who would it be?
Wait, so you're saying we know who you're talking about the U.S.
Isn't it gonna? Yeah, the Olympic team is Scotty,
It's Scotty,
Xander,
Xander, is it
Colin, and
Wyndham and Colin?
Wyndham. Yeah.
Well, right now, with how Wyndham's playing, like maybe. Let me think.
Who
I could
who
probably.
who would be your all-star team that would compete against them?
It depends on where we're playing at. Like, if I can get somewhere where I can open it up and just throw Bryson on my team, that's kind of nice, right? Clearly not Royal Troon, but somewhere else. Bryson could probably help me with that.
I thought you were asking him, like, could you beat the WNBA team in golf?
Yeah,
I didn't know where you were going with
I thought you were talking
that.
about the men's basketball.
Bad worded question. Bad worded question.
Yeah, I mean, it's just golf. Like, I think I could put a squad of 4 together and we can beat those guys. They're very good, and they might beat us more times than not. But yeah, we can take them down.
Hey, like Little Giants, you just need one time.
Just takes one, baby. Just takes one. Tex, go.
Being a Panthers fan, who would you say was a better QB for the Panthers? Delhomme or Newton?
Cam Newton.
Ooh.
Mm.
You big Cam Newton guy?
Yeah, I am.
Did you
Before
see
we just decided not to field an actual offensive line and got him killed and broke his foot and shoulder and he couldn't play football anymore, he was a really, really good quarterback. And Jake Delhomme turned the ball over a million times and complained to the refs constantly. And yes,
I mean, Cam turned it over a bunch too.
Jake Delhomme's like a poor man Brett Favre.
Yeah, that's
very true.
I like that. Yeah, because and you also got to remember, Jake Delhomme got prime Steve Smith. Cam Newton got good Steve Smith, but
and Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah. And then exactly. If Cam got to play with prime Steve Smith and Musa Muhammad on that team, over. Cam literally was doing crazy things with Ted Ginn as his wide receiver 1.
I remember
Ted
that.
Ginn was a wide receiver 3 any other team in the league.
He dropped so many balls that year.
It was unbelievable. It was he'd have 3 catches for 110 yards because he hit a bomb, and everybody's like, "Oh man, he's doing great." And it's he just dropped 75 other yards of passes.
I remember
I
that.
feel like we touched
Looked
the
like the
switch
Chiefs'
there.
entire wide receiver core last year.
Yeah, it was tough because we had Greg Olsen. That was it. So he was the Travis Kelce, and then just figure it out from there.
So, Rocket Ismail or Steve Smith?
Ooh.
Steve Smith.
Yeah. that was an easy one for you.
Come on.
This isn't the toss-up question. This is the rapid fire question.
Yeah. All right. Texas Pete or Tabasco?
Ooh.
Depends on what I'm putting it on, but I'll go Texas Pete.
There you go. Winston-Salem. Boom.
I'm a big hot sauce guy where I need some body to my hot sauce. I used to be all about Texas Pete, and then I discovered Tapatio, and the game has changed because that's a hot sauce with some body there. So I'm a big Tapatio guy.
Frank's is good too.
Yeah.
Put that on everything.
Now, I saw I want to bring 2 things to your attention for you going to Wofford. Obviously, we already talked about the 2007 issue that we had, but I also want to say, could your intramural squad beat our intramural squad that won 2 basketball championships?
You had a bunch of football players. So basically, what it comes down to is if we get two student refs that don't care and are just there because they were told to be there, or if we get refs that actually know what they're doing and are going to call y'all for throwing elbows and all kinds of crap because y'all don't actually know how to play defense. You just out physical everybody and foul the crap out of everybody. So I'm going to put it up to that. If the game is played legit, yeah, we beat y'all. If y'all are allowed to just pound us down into the ground, then yeah, y'all are probably going to take us down. We're just a bunch of golfers. Like, we're not going to out physical you. Sorry.
We weren't a very physical team though. Our team name was 100% chance of rain because all we did was shoot 3-pointers.
Okay, so we actually had the same team. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, we were a bunch of shooters. We had one guy on our team. He could dunk. He was our athlete, and yeah.
I think we
Wait,
had a
did
mirror
that
image
happen?
team.
Did you play the football team and there was a little bit physical? Did it get a little chippy?
The football team didn't play. I guess. Well, no, there was one. I think like a bunch of the freshmen that were like redshirting and didn't play at all made a team, but for the most part, the football team did not have an intramural team. I think the coaches like shut that down a few years earlier.
I would say
people getting hurt or whatever. So our biggest like the soccer team was decent, but again, like they had like no technical ability. They were just like really fast, so they were annoying to play against. And then a few of the frats had some decent teams, but we took them all down.
Just one championship, two?
Just one, my senior year.
Okay.
But it was it was a big one because there was two leagues. Like it was separated. There was enough teams where they did two leagues because Wofford's small, but they did two leagues, and we ended up winning our league. And the other team that won their league started chirping. They were like talking all this crap. So we were like, all right, run it. And like we talked to the intramural guy. He sent us some refs for a game, and we did a tournament of champions, and we took them down too. So
let's go.
We actually got two T-shirts. We got two champion T-shirts.
I say that's two turns. That's two wins.
Would you get one that said Wofford, another one said Terrier?
They both. I think I got one that was black and one that was gold, and they both said Wofford intramural champion. There was only two colors.
Do you still have them?
I got one of each.
Oh.
Do you still have them?
It's probably I probably have one of them in my closet somewhere.
So our other guy that's normally on here, he always likes to ask this question to our guest that comes on, and it is, you are a WWE wrestler. What is your walkout song? And if you had to create a tag team with another PGA golfer, who would be your tag team partner?
Okay, so I'm gonna go walkout song, 300 Violin Orchestra, and I'm walking out with somebody big. Can I get Taylor Pendrith's Caddy? Is that fine?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
He's technically on tour, right?
Taylor
Wait a
Pendrith's
minute.
Caddy. He's a Canadian. He was drafted in the NHL draft, and there's like you can literally go on YouTube and find like some of his fights, like because they post like hockey fights and stuff from back in the day. Yeah, so I'm taking him.
Love it.
He's like 6'4". He's huge.
Cow.
You don't mess with him.
He's a hockey enforcer. He does not care.
Yourself. 6'2", 6'4". Dang.
Did you watch Wofford baseball at all this year?
Yeah, we were good. We were good. We made NCAAs, I think, for the first time. Yeah.
Had him dead to rights.
I know.
Yeah.
Had him.
Should have been
tough.
LSU.
It was tough. I was struggling a while. I was up in Canada, so like I guess ESPN Plus like doesn't work up in Canada, so it was kind of annoying. I was struggling with that, but yeah, I was trying to follow as best I could.
Okay.
We might get their
one,
coach on soon. We know a guy who's cousins with their coach, so he might be coming on soon.
We're becoming a Wofford podcast or something. I don't know what's going on here.
They're our bosses. That's what they said.
I want to pull up this hot take sheet. I got it right here. So everybody just hang with me for a second. Hopefully my computer doesn't blow up. But we're going to pull up the 2024 Panthers hot takes that we created, that we curated. And we're not trying to trigger anybody here. We just said, "Hey, give us your 2024 Carolina Panthers." Immediately, what comes to mind, and we're going to go through this. Everybody, bear with me as I get this thing pulled up. But basically, we have one of our good friends is a Panthers fan. So, and he said we were fairly nice to the Panthers. So, I think we weren't too mean to them. So, here we go. Everybody, get ready. Let's debate. I don't know what this is going to do to our screen, but here we go. I want you to just overlook this for a second. We've got some Bryce Young stuff on there. We've got some stadium stuff. We've got some Thielen on there, who's a pretty good golfer, by the way, right?
Yeah, he is. He was. I didn't meet him, but he was when he was with the Vikings. He was at this pro-am for the 3M like a couple years ago. His swing's good. I got to see him hit a few.
He looks like an athlete. Okay, so we'll start here. At some point, we will see a graphic of Bryce Young's weight because the reports are he's put on weight. Can you confirm or deny this?
Has he put on height?
No.
What was your first thought when they drafted him? Honestly,
They did wheel him off in a stretcher.
I mean, I liked it. He's a good player. I liked what I saw. Like, I thought he would do good things. I mean, there's plenty of small quarterbacks that are doing just fine now. So I didn't think that was going to be a detriment. But pairing a small quarterback like that with no offensive line was a decision. So hopefully we went out and got some offensive line help this offseason. So hopefully this season looks a little better.
Man,
honestly, the Bryce Young thing, like any rookie quarterback would have been bad on that team last year. The only thing that makes the Bryce Young pick look that bad is because of how well CJ Stroud played. That a lot of what has been like
Agreed.
Everybody dogging the Bryce Young pick is not necessarily so much about what Bryce Young's done, because everybody understands that team last year for the Panthers was horrible and there wasn't really a whole lot he could do. A lot of it is coming from how good CJ Stroud was. And that's what makes it feel so bad, is because we could have had that.
Bryce Young didn't have a one receiver. He didn't have a wide receiver.
He didn't have
one.
a two receiver either.
I know.
Yeah, it was exactly.
They didn't have a tight end. They didn't have a running back.
I said multiple times on our podcast, you can check the tape, that if those quarterbacks switched, the seasons would be about the same as they were for the current team. Like the quarterback didn't necessarily matter.
Yeah, it was so. I went to one Panthers game last year, and it was like, on TV you don't see it as well. Literally in the stadium, I'm just like watching, like, where are you even supposed to throw the ball? Yeah. It's like the corners were running the routes for the receivers. Like, it would have been easier for him to throw passes like leading the corners than the receiver. Like there was zero separation ever. No routes ever were open. It was unbelievable. It was against against the Jaguars, who the Jaguars did not even have a good secondary last year. So I don't know. It's frustrating, but hopefully they got some of that squared away this year. So.
Well, my hot take is for this year, Panthers wouldn't make the new college football playoff format.
Well, that's just ridiculous. But, okay.
He's already starting the "Could Georgia beat the Carolina Panthers" rhetoric. It's already coming out.
Panthers will finish fourth in the SEC.
I don't even know if Georgia has a single player that would instantly start for the Panthers. Probably a couple linemen, maybe.
Here's what you need to do. You need to create the Carolina Panthers on the video game and then win the national title and then send it to J-Vi and be like, look, champions. That's what you should do.
But all just going to be 99s.
Yes.
This is like the whole a college team beating a bunch of pros is just so crazy to me always.
It is the most
I look at
thing
and obviously golf is not the same as football, but I look at good college golf and it's just okay, there's a couple players hand-picked that can do it, but that there is such a gap. And when you are playing and then you go to class and then you do all of these things that take your time and being able to just get up and go practice and that's all you do. The amount of time you have to actually work on your game is just so much more.
Well,
Like, when
and
it's
how
all
much
you're
more
doing.
developed you are as just physically. We love those hot takes though, just to get people wild up.
Also, I take a little. I don't know if I agree with this only team in history to remodel and take seats out. Didn't
I triggered him. I
mean, the remodel does look dumb. Like putting all that money just to add a screen outside. Like, don't we want to fill the seats inside first? But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm pretty sure Miami did this though. At Hard Rock, I think they
you're right.
took out some of the lower seats. They like combined, or they took a bunch of seats out and made like these bigger, nice, like high-end plush seats and put a bunch of them in.
Look, there's something that we live by. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. So
yeah, I definitely agree.
Oh, you just got fact-checked into oblivion.
They could have.
Tepper's trying to turn this into an entertainment building.
They took seats out of Hard Rock and still can't fill the thing either. So I get it. But
yeah, I was gonna say the dog. Tex, care to read one of yours?
The Panthers will still finish last in their division.
I thought these were hot takes.
I
was like,
mine were.
I'm pretty sure Vegas like very much agrees with you. That's like,
Thielen's gonna have a breakout year in fantasy.
That's hot. That's like, sizzling.
It's like 32, 33. I don't think like you can break out when you're 32 or 33. Also, I'm a little so okay. I definitely agree. Dave Canales is going to be great for him. Like always does good things for slot receivers. But I don't know. Like he's going to be sharing a lot of that with Deontay. I think Deontay will be more on the outside. But there's going to be, I mean, he had a good year last year, but there's going to be a lot more mouths to feed in the passing game because they actually went out and invested in a couple wide receivers. So yeah. I think he'll be comparable to how he was last year, but maybe a couple more touchdowns because potentially the Panthers might score once.
Is Canales going to be controlling the offense? Is he going to be at the helm?
Yes, but I don't think he's calling plays. I think he brought his guy with him to call plays so he doesn't have to do that. But I would be willing to bet he's doing the game planning or a major part of the game planning.
How hot is Jonathan Brooks going to be in the fantasy streets? They threw the ball to Rashad White all the time.
It depends on what it is. If it's hard redraft, if it's straight redraft, I'm a little wary because I think coming off that injury, he's going to be at least 6 to 8 weeks before he's like even close to like full speed or looking good. I'm kind of like, I'm putting Jonathan Brooks more in like I hope he kind of like has a slow year. So then next year I can kind of get him on the cheap as like a post type sleeper sort of thing. Because I think he's just not going to be fully back from this injury quite yet. I do think you could get Chuba at a decent value because everybody's hyping up Jonathan Brooks right now. I do think Chuba is going to start at least the first probably 6 games or so before Brooks is like back a little bit, and then he might get some of his workload cut into. But I do think he's somebody you could grab early, has a few good games early, and maybe if you could like flip him in a trade like 4 weeks in or so. To a team that needs it, before Brooks comes back, you might be able to get some good value there. So,
is that a little taste of the screenplay right there?
That is a little taste of the screenplay.
That was nice. Are you worried about Deontay Johnson not being able to catch? Is this Ted getting flashbacks?
No, because we had a lot of wide receivers that couldn't catch last year. So at least he gets open and sometimes catches.
What's the all right, Butch? What's one of yours? Let's get yours. Go ahead.
All right, my hot take for the Panthers: Pepsi is better than Coke.
That's fine. My wife would be upset, but I'm fine with
it. But
there's no way Dave Canales has had Bojangles or Cheerwine. He's got to ingratiate himself to the public, just like a Buffalo Bills Mafia person. Crush a Cajun filet biscuit and then cover himself stone cold. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Do do you think they have a shot at all at the division? What are your expectations for the Panthers? Come on.
I mean, I think the division is pretty soft right now, so I don't think it's completely impossible that they could be sort of in the running, because like realistically, like 9-8 would be like definitely in the running for the division.
I think you win the division.
Wait a minute. You can't call me delusional or having a cool take for them finishing last and then coming and be like, oh yeah, 9-8 is realistic.
No, I'm saying 9-8 is realistic to maybe win the division.
Oh yeah, it is every year, dude. Every year, that's what happens.
So the division is like crazy weak. So like, if the Panthers are, if I think they're going to win like 5 or 6, if they could win like 5 or 6 games, or if they go like 2 games over that, then they would sort of be in the running for the division. I don't think they're better than the Falcons. I think the Falcons did enough that the Falcons probably would just win the division. But with the division being as weak as it is, I think that through like 10 weeks, the Panthers could sort of just be like hanging around 2 games out or something. But I don't think it's like.
I'm not sold on the Falcons though winning that thing either.
What's that?
Are you sold that the Falcons are the favorite?
I think the Falcons are the favorite.
With Kirk coming off Achilles,
yeah.
and then you got what's his name?
I think. I don't know. I think the Buccaneers are going to take like a little step back. And then the Saints are kind of just like in a very weird spot right now. I don't really know. It's like nothing's like great, but like I feel like the Panthers definitely look like the worst of them, but like they're all just kind of like, I could all see them being pretty bad. So I guess anything could sort of happen. I don't see anybody get. I don't see anybody like 12-5 out of this division. Like that is not.
I think if any team gets a little bit hot, they're gonna win.
Yeah,
like they win like 3 games in a row.
Like I think that like.
Thanks, dude. Hot take.
3 wins.
I said in a row. Like if you get a little hot, win 3-4 games in a row, you're gonna take yourself a little.
Like, 3 games in a row.
Because like 10-7, I think wins the division. So yeah, you're just like 500 the rest of the year and a little 3 wins. Yeah. There you go. Boom. Done.
Easy.
Deontay Johnson.
I'm not going to let these Cowboys fans bully you. You're talking.
Wait. Deontay Johnson's catch percentage last year.
No.
58%. 87 targets, 51 receptions. It means he dropped.
Okay, yeah, but that's Kenny Pickett. Like,
what?
How many of those are
Johnson catching the ball?
No, that's not catchable balls.
Okay. He's targeted. Didn't catch
it. They still have to have
not a reception.
Well, how is that his fault when Kenny Pickett's thrown in the 3rd row?
Yeah, I'm just saying career
and Mason Rudolph.
Yes,
61%.
He has had issues with drops. I agree.
61%.
I agree. He has had issues with drops.
I don't know about Wofford, but where I went to school, that was failing.
Wofford, we don't throw the football. What is this targets thing?
Run the damn ball.
Targets? You mean a pitch? Is that?
Flip it back on him and ask him why Dak Prescott hasn't signed a new contract. Why can't he win a playoff game? Why'd they get run out of the building by the Packers?
He can win a playoff game.
The Cowboys are going 8-9 this year. It's fine.
Hey, the Panthers have won more playoff games in the last 10 years than the Cowboys have.
Not very
about
good.
The last 20?
Pretty sure we've been in the playoffs once in 10 years, so that's not very good.
Adam Thielen's career catch percentage.
There it is. There's the Burns.
I won't go to water cooler debate.
Any final thoughts on the Panthers? Yeah. Any final thoughts on the Panthers?
Yeah, I mean, if we win like 6 games, I'd be pretty happy with that, I guess. I feel like we're going to do the normal, like, annoying Panthers thing where we start like 3-11 and we're looking really good for like a top 4 pick, and then we'll win like 3 games late randomly to make sure that we pick like 8th, and we'll actually have our pick next year. We're probably like 1 year away. They did a lot of good things like building the offensive line. I think there's going to have to be a little bit of work done to the defensive line next offseason to get that squared away. And then obviously you're hoping that Bryce Young like puts it together, but it's a bit of a rebuilding year, and hopefully like you actually see some flashes this year, because there basically were no flashes last year. That's kind of where I'm at.
The Panthers will get a top 10 pick, but then they'll trade it to the Bears.
No, we're not doing that again. Not doing that again.
That is brutal if you're a Panthers fan.
What's that?
The Bears trade.
Oh yeah. Well,
The graphic of the Bears trade. That was brutal.
yeah. But
All right, we got one more.
A water cooler debate or how dare you?
Let's do the how dare you one.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare me? How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you, sir? You're gross.
How dare you?
He's muted again.
Me?
Nah, AK. This computer always messes up after this. Unmute yourself.
I
There
don't
you
know
go.
what it is. It doesn't even play anymore on mine.
Oh, it played.
Unbelievable. Well, there you go. Okay, so we usually do a water cooler debate, which is where we just pick a topic and then we give our answers, and we will usually one of us will go first, so you can see how this goes. But first, we always tell a dad joke. Everybody loves it. Everybody's in agreement. So the dad joke this week. What do you call it when a jeweler posts nothing but wedding ring photos? Engagement farming.
Oh God.
great.
You don't have to tell them. It's good. They're always bad.
There you go. They're always bad. But okay. Here's this week's water cooler debate question. What is the GOAT type of cane? And I guess I'm gonna go first. Let me lead this thing off. The GOAT type of cane is the candy cane. Because it's all around Christmas. Everybody's in a good mood. Peppermint supposedly stimulates you and makes you happier. The candy cane is the GOAT type of cane. Put it on the board. Who wants to go next?
I would disagree with that. Go ahead, Butch.
I'm going to go to GOAT type of Kane is Kane himself.
The wrestler. Nice one.
Dude, he was there for a while though. He was though.
Was he?
He was the
Yeah.
dude.
He was always number 2.
I don't know, man.
I think I'm gonna go with a
Kane
pimp
when
cane.
he did the
I'm gonna go with a pimp cane because everybody needs a good cane to walk with, and that's the one.
Like from Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
yes. All right. Tex.
I'm going with a cane pole. Because when you
There
got
you
no
go.
other option to go fishing, you can always use you a cane pole.
The old school cane pole.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are all wrong, man. Oh my gosh, it is clear and obvious. It's Ed Reed.
Mm.
I like that. I like that. You're right, though. You're right, though. There's no other dude I'd rather have at safety.
That's good.
No.
That is fact.
Yeah.
That's how you play the game. That's how you play the game.
Yeah.
We got one from the stands. Super
Yeah.
James said Raisin Canes,
I thought about that, and that is a good answer.
but I
Very good
believe
answer.
Ed Reed tops the cake.
Look, we played this
Ed
game
Reed.
before. We played this game before, and it was the GOAT type of drive, and J-Vi put Donald Driver, and that thing, I mean, just mollywopped all of us. And I didn't
Football
even think
answer,
to go that far.
football guy.
It is a
Hey.
football answer.
This is a football podcast
Mm-hmm.
/ golf.
Right. We do we got one more little thing we do. We call it the How Dare Yous.
I played that music for that.
This
You
is where
told
we
me
just
to play
take
the How
something
Dare
for
You
the
music.
Yes, yes. But I'm just
Go back
explaining
to
this. We just how dare something throughout the
sports.
week. Nope. No more music. No more segues. I don't want my computer to explode. I'm gonna how dare you Tex.
Mm-hmm.
No, Your Majesty, you made the comment that one cake was better than our mom's cake at the birthday party. And
I don't like
that's a how
chocolate
dare
cake.
you, because
and
you're
that's
wrong.
fair. I don't like chocolate cake. I don't like chocolate cake.
No, I'm just how dare you? How dare you do that in the
Okay.
kitchen? So
I don't like chocolate cake. She knows that.
okay.
My how dare you
All
goes out to Andrew Novak's caddy from being from Erie and not liking the Sabres. How dare you? And you can tell him that I said that, and he's more than welcome to come on the show and defend himself. But my how dare you goes out to him.
Do you have a how dare you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I did see one thing that had me questioning. There was a bit of recruiting news earlier. This was maybe a few days ago, and there's an Oregon fan talking about how they couldn't believe that somebody had paid for one of these players to commit. And I'm just sitting there like, well, you got Phil Knight in your back pocket. Now hold on. How dare you? Call out another team for paying a player. Y'all are
Has
sitting
he
there,
heard of
unlimited
NIL?
NIL, Nike checks and stuff like that. Come on.
Like
That is
literally,
a fair how dare
told
you.
him he wants to see him win a natty before he passes away, and he's like, "You have whatever you want, take it all."
Blank check.
So, it's a
Butch,
do you have a how dare you?
Yeah, my how dare you goes to AK for trying to connect all the dots to say that the 49ers season isn't doomed by saying the last time that the Americans swept all the majors was the last time that the Niners won the Super Bowl. And that means this year we're going to – that's just like the most ridiculous – that's like somebody throwing 7 darts on a board and be like, oh, well, that's the arrangement. That means the Oracle Bones say Niners Super Bowl.
Okay, but also, it's significantly more reasonable for the 49ers fan to say they're winning the Super Bowl this year than a Cowboys fan. So
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Thank
it's not
you.
True. It's not true. We're getting all of our defense
Thank
back.
you.
We were playing with half a defense last year.
And where's your DC at?
He's signed by the Cowboys. We have a DC.
Where's your good DC?
Mike Zimmer.
Well, yeah, that's not what you asked. That's not what you asked, though. You asked, we have a DC.
That's not what I meant.
Mike Zimmer's a solid DC.
Who?
True.
Who?
Mike Zimmer?
Zimmer.
What? Fired. You got fired from Minnesota. They don't fire coaches. Guy's a bum.
Yeah, but that
He's a
defense
bum.
wasn't the problem.
It wasn't.
Well, hey, Dan Quinn
was the
got
problem
fired
then?
as a head coach.
He did.
All right, this is a never-ending
Did you see?
argument. Butch, how dare you?
Yeah, but Dan Quinn didn't get fired because of Dan Quinn, though. Dan Quinn got fired because of Kyle Shanahan. But, well, we see how that worked out for him. So, whatever.
Tell him. That's right. That's right. The Niners ended the Cowboys' defensive coordinator season.
Well, here's the real truth, Andrew, is AK tries to tell us every week the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. But as you may know or you may not know, a rule that we follow in golf is if you get married, your next year you're probably going to play a little bit less than you normally play.
It takes 4 years to recover, based on our research.
Yes, for football, it's 4 years. So Brock Purdy just got married. Christian McCaffrey just got married. And Christian McCaffrey's on the cover of Madden. So down year coming for the Niners. Down year.
That is a lot. That is going to be hard to cover from. In fact, I probably might need to take McCaffrey off all of my fantasy football.
Yep. You do. You do.
That's a bad idea.
Definitely because he got married and then the Madden curse.
Just a backup running back for San Fran. I need to make sure he's on my team.
Debo Samuels.
Yeah.
1A, 1B. McCaffrey, Debo.
It's Elijah Mitchell, and then they.
Ayuk wants gone.
He wants out. Debo, Ayuk wants out. It's falling apart. Trouble in paradise.
It's a system, right? He's a system wide receiver, right? So what he says about Purdy, it's all about the system. Plug and play, dude. Pearsall, here you go. Welcome to the Pro Bowl, buddy.
Ayuk is not a system wide receiver. Ayuk's legit. That dude runs wide open through secondaries. Like it is his job, but
we'll find out when Russell Wilson's throwing to him.
He's very good.
Oh, that's all they do. Nobody comes on here and hates on Josh Allen. Everybody's like, "Oh, Josh Allen's a big."
What's there
golden
to hate
retriever."
on? MVP this year.
Why would I hate
Hey.
on Josh Allen? He's good at
That's right.
football. He's also a decent golfer too.
He's good at fantasy football.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's
So,
wrap it
I
up.
don't know.
Yep.
Any other how dare yous? No,
No.
I don't think so. Okay. This has been episode 150. Andrew Novak, thank you for coming on the show, talking football, talking
Yeah.
golf, throwing out how dare yous. We look forward to the 3M where we're going to be hoisting the trophy.
Look for the nose
And-
online on Twitter.
Yes, look for the O's. Never forget when you see the 3M marker that now you know what 3M makes, adhesives and foams, and just let that be your guide.
Yeah, I assume Texas playing in the Pro-Am. He's an employee, right? So
Yeah. CFO.
Oh man. All right, go follow the screenplay.
Screenplay podcast, yeah.
Let's do it.
Screenplay
Go follow
_pod. And Instagram. I think we have TikTok. I don't run that. But yeah,
we
we're
don't have
on
TikTok.
Apple Pod, Spotify, all that.
yeah.
Our first episode up should be in like 2-3 weeks. So
All right.
Let's do it.
Nice. Well,
right,
appreciate
ladies
you
and
coming
gentlemen.
on. We'll be
yeah,
pulling for
thanks
you.
for having me. Appreciate it.
Go win it.
From 28
go.
yards. Good
Appreciate it.
snap, holds down, and the Mountaineers win in overtime. The field goal is good from Jason Viterra.
What?